We've been standing. Who's been standing with me since? Yeah. Oh, it feels good to sit.
Well, guess what?
Do I get to sit here?
Yeah, man. Lounge out. I have another bottle of water for you. We have the lights on the trees. It's like IKEA.
Are you gonna sit? You're gonna stand.
I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna let you chill, man. You sprawl out.
Oh yeah.
Soak it in. Soak it in.
Thank you all for being here. You know what? It's a real pleasure to see everybody. And thank you for those of you that have stopped by and been so patient in line. Thank you for that. It's always, you know, I want to try to get to everybody that I can and also not like, you know, I want to make sure that I get to chat with everybody for a little bit. So thanks for being so patient in line. And I told you, if you're going to stand, I'm going to stand. And my knees are like, why? But no, we're doing it. We're doing it. We're here. This is awesome. And thank you for stealing this couch.
Look, hold on. Just do a little twist into it. Just kind of get into it, you know? Like, really feel it. It's nice, right?
Where's the remote?
It's got a new door. I don't know if there's a remote on it, but it'd be cool if it was.
Yeah, and then we got a little TV right up there.
Exactly.
I'm getting a sneak peek of Squid Game Season 2.
What?
Now there's a baby I'm supposed to deliver during this panel. There you all are. Are we getting the contractions yet? Not time. Okay. I washed my hands today, so I'm going to deliver the baby.
Yeah, we have more Purell behind the stage. So.
Yeah, we got a ton of that. I've been taking little shots of it throughout the day, so I'm clean on the inside, and yeah, I'm ready to deliver a baby. I've seen it on a YouTube video with ads, so I caught it in segments, but I'm pretty sure I know how to do it. So we're good.
You're highly trained.
Yeah, capital H. Yes. But again, it's cool to be here. It's good to return and be back. I feel like it's 2022, right?
Yeah, it's 2022.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've seen you.
Yeah, it's been a minute, but we had that was a nice like. I feel like if there's any time there's so many things that come out to watch and play that when we've been, in a way, forced to stay home for a bit,
yeah.
Hopefully we were able to get that good time with our families and then also catch up on shows you need to watch and games you need to play, right? I was just telling someone earlier, my game library is embarrassingly, like, the amount of games I have compared to what I've actually beaten, not impressive. Very, very bad. Very, very bad. But even still, I just got Elden Ring, and I was getting some tips. Where's my PlayStation bro? He was giving...
There he is.
Yes, giving me tips on how to kill a boss. How many people are playing Elden Ring?
A few.
A couple? Okay, yeah, because it's hard. I understand why the rest of you aren't playing it. It is hard and it is depressing. They should just call the game life. It's very difficult, very hard to get through sometimes. But yeah, no, I'm playing it. Well, but see, but in life you can't wield a sword like that.
I mean, you could.
You could, but you don't get as far as you do in the game.
True.
You take about 3 steps outside the building, and that's the end of your level. But in Elden Ring, you can carry a sword all day long, you know? But yeah, so a lot of times, and I'll answer this before we even get to it, because I know someone's always curious about this. Raise your hand if I'm wrong about this. How many people out here think, I want to go into voice acting? Right there. It's okay. Right there. And you're gonna you wonder how to get started, right? How to get into it? Because it's coming. That's okay.
Oh, it's coming.
And I will say, and I just figured it out when we were in line. I figured out why that question pops up. It's because I feel like with voiceover, like when I was a kid, I didn't see, like, it was a magic trick. And I didn't know that behind the characters were people that did the voices. I thought that these characters come to work, Lion-O puts on his armor, gets his sword, he reads his script, and then he goes and he does the thing with Mumra. But I didn't know that there was voice acting behind these characters, because of the magic trick. I was just saying in line, it's like when you go to a concert, you don't think about the rehearsing, the traveling to get to the con, the working with the band, writing new songs, all that kind of stuff. You're not supposed to see all that. You just are supposed to see the guitar solo and the great song. And so that's kind of like, the flip side of that is that there are a lot of folks that want to get into voiceover because there's also so much stuff that needs to get voiced, and whether it's video games, anime, Western animation, commercials, which I'm never booked. I auditioned for so many commercials, but my voice is so strange that that commercials don't work for me. Because you're supposed to be focusing on the product, not the strange voice doing it. So it's got to be a voice that blends in nicely with it, you know what I mean? Like the guy that does the voice of AMC Theaters. He's a very nice guy, by the way. But his voice, welcome to AMC Theaters, like that voice. Whereas my voice is like, hey, come drink my water. And it's like that sticks out, so we don't do that. But in terms of like looking for a methodology or like a rule on how to get into voiceover, well, this is one of the most non-linear businesses you can, just all of the entertainment industry. There's no, it's like, how do you cook rice? There's about 2 ways to do it, right? You either get a rice cooker, or you do it how my family did it, which is you boil up some water, you put the rice in, the ratio, boom. There's 2 ways to do it.
I thought you were gonna say takeout.
There are 3 ways to do it. But that's it. Those are the ways. But with voiceover, with acting in general, there's 3 with 3 zeros behind it in terms of ways you could get into it. You know, so it's hard to dilute it down to the quintessential thing that's going to get you in there. So it's tough to give you a prescription because I don't know enough about you to give you the prescription, because it's like when you go to the doctor's office, if they don't know what's wrong with you, if they give you the wrong medicine, it's going to make your day pretty bad. So if I tell you, go do this with voiceover, go do this, go do this, go do this, but if you're not a good self-starter, if you're not a good self-marketer, if you're not good communicating with people or interacting with them, then, and I don't know that, and I'm like, go interact with people, go be a self-starter, then you're going to come back years from now, like the Riddler, and put me through different trials and tribulations, leading me around with riddles until I discover you later in Arkham, and it was all because I gave you advice on voiceover years ago in Mississippi. But I guess the flip side is you helped turn me into Batman, so that's kind of cool.
Speaking of, did you see the film?
The new one? Oh yeah.
We saw it. Did you like it?
Well, how many people have not seen the new Batman movie?
Oh my God.
Okay, well,
we'll talk later.
I'll give you one spoiler. Listen, you're gonna see the spoiler anyway. Vader is his father.
Oh man.
So just, it's not a big spoiler. They deal with it in the first 5 minutes, but you're welcome. But yeah, so so it's hard to give advice on VO, you know, because there's a lot of ways to cook that rice. What I will say is, don't kill anyone along the way. That's good advice.
Perfect advice.
Probably should know how to read. That's good advice. And you should probably know how to do that. Although there's some VO out there where I'm like, well, they didn't listen to that rule. But so yeah, there's so basically, good luck to us both. How about that? There we go. That's the bottom line.
Give it up. All good advice. It all works. You like the pillow, don't you?
It's very firm.
It is.
Yeah, it needs some nap sessions. But yeah, so I knew that was coming. So I'm like, let me just say, you know.
I dig it.
I get asked to teach a lot of voiceover workshops and such, but I'm not, I gotta wait till I'm Obi-Wan Kenobi's age.
You have the look going on.
I need some more, I just need a few more lightsaber battles under my belt.
Right on.
But right now it's like it's been, also there's a time thing. So right now people were asking about the 100-year quest, about when that's coming for Fairy Tale. And I don't have any answers for you. Because we're the last to know when it comes. When we work on a show, like I was telling someone about, I'm trying to think of things I could talk about that are out now. Oh, okay, oh yeah. Okay, here we go. So I narrate the High Republic novels for Star Wars. And so they got released in, I want to say January one came out. You know when I knew about that book? I knew December 1st. That's how tight these schedules are. So like with Fairy Tale, when the 100-year quest comes around, I won't know if they're doing an English version of it until probably a few weeks before it's time to start working. Like, it's not like they're gonna be like, hey, just FYI, Fairy Tale's coming. They'll never, we just know when it's time to book session times. It's so weird, the VO world. Because like with movies, we knew Robert Pattinson was gonna be Batman like 2 years before they did the film. That's how you know it ain't VO. Because he knew about it years before he did it. But with us, it's like, people are like, oh, are you gonna be doing more Fairy Tale? I'm like, like with D Greyman. D Greyman was a show that I worked on. If you like Full Metal, and you want a little bit of a darker twist on it, D Greyman's that show. So I directed that, and I was the lead in it. And we took a little break from it. There were 102 episodes originally. We did 50 episodes. We took a little break, 10 years, and then we came back and did the rest. But the only reason I knew about it was because someone told me online that we're doing more. That's how the director and lead of the show found out. I was in Manhattan in a museum and I got a buzz on my phone and I looked and it goes, congrats on more D Greyman. That's how the lead finds out. So we're the last one to get information. So I basically have no information about anything in life. From voice acting to when a show comes out. I'll be here on my couch. Yeah. I'm an empty vessel waiting for this couch to loosen up. Yeah.
It's a fresh couch, man.
But anyway, back to you, man.
Yeah, I've been good. Thanks for asking. Doing well.
Okay.
I'm happy to see you.
It's good to see you. What are the top 3 adventures going on in your life right now?
Going to see the Batman. I just turned 41 on March 3rd.
Okay.
And I'm an uncle now.
You're an uncle now?
Yeah.
Right
So,
now, when did you find out about being an uncle?
The day before. No.
You found out.
My wife's sister just had a baby recently, so I'm an uncle for the first time. So that's really cool.
When did you find out about that?
I would guess maybe 3-4 months into the pregnancy.
So even you found out
quicker than you.
Quicker than I would find out if I'm voicing on something.
Totally quicker than you. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's the voiceover world in a nutshell. You will find out if you are an uncle or an aunt before I find out if I'm voicing on something. There's something I'm working on Wednesday that I can't say, but it's a thing that people bring things to get signed for.
Yeah?
And you would think I would know about it well before this Wednesday, and I just found out last week what it actually is. That's how, like we're voiceover world, we're like spies without any of the guns, the violence, the cool suits, the awesome cars, the traps, the lasers, the parachutes, the grappling guns, the utility belts,
rollerblades,
the flamethrower, basically nothing like spies.
Yeah, totally not.
At all. That was horrible. We're nothing like spies. At all. But I'm going to be doing it Wednesday, and you'll know soon.
Are you excited about it, though?
Yes, because I didn't know that that was going to be, because the story is very vast.
Yeah.
It's
been around a while.
It's been around a minute.
Okay.
It is a.
Like 100 minutes?
No. No, it's an interactive story.
Okay.
That I didn't know they would swing the story back around to my world.
Okay.
And so that's coming.
We're playing in the floor is lava with this right now, like
Yeah.
of what it is actually.
Well, because one time with Dragon Ball, when I first joined with Dragon Ball Z, I got called into the principal's office
Did you
because I
really?
was on a panel, and they go, there's all these corporate secrets, and so they go, have a seat. And they pulled out a piece of paper and they go, did you say that at a con? And I'm like, back in school again.
Oh wow.
I'm like, oh no, let me take a look. Oh yeah, I did say that. Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
And they're like, yeah, you're not supposed to talk about that. I'm like, but I mean, you've announced that we're doing Dragon Ball, like Super. This is what we're doing. And yeah, you're not supposed to talk about that. And I go, well, oops. You want me to get in my time machine and go back and fix it? And then he was like, sure. And I go, all right. And I called up Doc.
Big fly.
No, we went back to just a minute before, because that's about all the fuel we had.
Just
But I
enough.
typed it incorrectly into the dashboard, and so I went to a minute before the meeting, not a minute before when I said yeah, so it didn't really help, and I wasted plutonium on a pointless trip.
And then you said, no, I did not say that.
Yeah, but so it's like, you have to be really careful, because they've got eyes and ears
They're
everywhere.
listening.
And I'm like, nope, I'm not in that at all. Now, I don't go as far as Andrew Garfield, where Andrew's like, nope, I promise you on the life of my unborn children that I am not in SpiderMan. Nope. Don't know what you're talking about. And then it's like they show a picture of him on the set with a sign that says, totally in SpiderMan, here I am, filming No Way Home. He's like, nope, that's a lie, not me. I wish I was, sorry. Like completely lying about it, swearing in front of a judge, signing an affidavit, saying like, nope, totally not Spider-Man, absolutely not.
It was the worst kept secret in Hollywood.
Yeah, that was terrible. There's a better way.
There's totally a better
There's a
way.
better way. Like with Hayden Christensen in the Kenobi show. He's like totally Vader.
Yeah, totally.
Totally coming back.
Excited
It's
about
like, that makes me feel good.
It does.
Just let me know. I don't want to. Now I don't like Andrew Garfield because I'm like, you lied to me.
Yeah, totally.
And you, wait a minute, hold on. Who has not seen No Way Home? People, what's happening here?
I know.
He's in No Way Home. Was that a big spoiler, or did you already know that?
No, I think
I knew.
You knew that?
Yeah.
Okay. But you know what I mean? Like, there's a better way.
it totally is.
Like, I get asked stuff where it's like, are you in this thing? And I'm like, I'm in this thing. Like, for example, like Three Houses, Fire Emblem, Three Houses,
Yeah.
right? They'll ask, oh, are you voicing this character? Because I'm 3 characters in that. And they're like, are you this character? And I can't tell them. So, well, hold on, you guys are. Yeah, I don't say anything. Next question.
Next question. Who was the first one? I already knew you wanted it. She was here really early and was like,
First Q is the deepest.
hi.
Baby,
It's
I
Kat,
know.
right? Hi, Kat. What's your question? Get your phone ready.
I was wondering if you could say, I'm a little nervous, sorry.
That's okay.
So I know you voiced Terra Terra, right?
Yes.
Can you say Avril Lavigne in Terra Terra's voice?
Oh, come on now, Avril Lavigne!
Good job. All right. Hi, high fives. Stay on up. What's your name?
Mia. So my question is, do you think that you relate to Death the Kid?
Do I relate to Death the Kid? I have some things that need to stay symmetrical in my life. I have some, right, you know what I'm talking about? I think we all do a little bit. You know when you walk into a space and like someone has like papers everywhere, but it's in an order. It's like in a system. I got a little bit of that. We have Mrs. H and I have a dog named Squirm, and when he eats his food, he does the same thing every time he eats, and it's his little death the kid thing. So he comes up to his bowl, he scratches it one time, and then he gets close to his food. So every single time he'll go, and then he gets real close and he goes. He takes one nugget, and then he'll eat it to the right. He goes back, he gets one nugget, he eats it to the left, and then that's how he eats his food. Every day. And I didn't notice he did that until one time I was just sitting, because he's so cute. Squirm is so cute. I'm sitting there watching him, and I'm like, every single bite he's going this way, this way, this way, this way. I'm like, we've got a little Death the Kid dog. It's pretty cool. So yes, I relate on many levels with him, for sure. Yeah, I'm asymmetrical garbage.
Stand up. What's your name?
Robbie, I have a really original question for you.
You have a really original question? I want to hear this really original question. Now wait a minute before you ask it. You want to put some money on this?
Yes. How much you got on this? Ask your parents.
Do you take Bitcoin?
See, so last time I saw you, you talked about rings that weren't on fingers. Why don't you explain that for us?
Rings that weren't on in terms of something I was working on? Oh, that was probably when I was Chiang Chi. Yeah. I worked on Chiang Chi for some VO,
Nice.
which is cool to see. Because I mean, it's a Marvel movie. But it was cool to work on. We were working on a rough cut of the movie. And so whether I was working on that, I've seen movies like that in different states of existence, like working on the Hotel Transylvania series. You see the movies when they're not quite finished. And it's always interesting to see, talking about how things get done at the last minute. With this film, there was actually a little bit more time because we were working on it a couple of months before it was coming out. But when you see these films in their green screen and blue screen state, they work hard on it. I don't know if you've ever stayed after the credits for some of these movies. The legions of names that come up under visual effects.
Crazy.
But yeah, it was pretty cool to see. When I saw Abomination pop in, I was like, oh, Easter egg. And then when the Mandarin, see.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me do my thing.
Do it.
How many people haven't seen Chiang Chi?
It's on Disney Plus.
What are you doing?
No excuse.
Do your collective consciousness Marvel homework. I haven't seen What If, so I mean I get it.
It's all good.
I get it. Yeah. But yeah, that was a fun movie to work on. It was very cool. There was another. Oh, see, I can't talk. Never mind. That was fun to work on. Next question.
Stand up. All right, what's your name?
Eva. Yes. Hi, nice to see you. Okay, so my question is, first, I want you to do your favorite line as Natsu from Fairy Tail, if you want to, of course.
My favorite line from Fairy Tail? Well, there's a lot of favorite lines because there's a lot of episodes and a lot of adventures. But let me tell you, if you make Lucy cry, I'm gonna kill you. And I'm gonna use the fire in my belly.
Nice.
Because that is true. Anytime Lucy cries, Nacha's like, all right, who did it? Who do I need to murder and make a new special episode of Cold Case on Netflix? What was your next question?
Just for fun, I want to know what was technically your first ever voiceover, like ads. Like those are just fun to hear.
It was an ad.
Like it's behind the music? All right.
My
cool.
very first VO was when I, basically, if you ever want to know if an actor can do something, the answer is always yes. They will always say they can do something. If they're like, hey, do you know how to work a Ouija board and summon a demon? They're like, yeah, absolutely, totally got you covered. You can hire me for that. That's just actors. I don't do that anymore, but when you're first starting out in a medium of entertainment, because I started out in stage, then I went to film, and voiceover wasn't a thing for me because, I don't know, I just wanted to do more on camera, and I was told, again, I had a weird voice, and I didn't think that it would ever be something I ever used in any capacity because people made fun of my voice for a long time. And I've heard from some of those people over the years. Ooh, I'm thinking of a finger for you. But yeah, my very first was for a computer store. And they hired me for it, and the VO was terrible. I know I did a bad job. It makes me cringe to think about it right now because I can remember the performance. Oh, it was so bad. But it was one of those things where like, can you do this voiceover? And I was like, yes, I can. Never done it before, had to produce it all on my own. And I was like, yeah, how hard could this be? So I went out and bought gear and like taught myself how to use it. Oh, it was a disaster. But I'm pretty sure that computer company isn't around anymore because of that VO.
Was it compact?
No, that was deep cut. No, it was, or Gateway.
Gateway 2000.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, that was my very first VO, was an ad for a computer store.
Right on. Hi.
Hi.
Nice shirt.
Thank you.
Rocking the fairy tale. Cool. What's your name?
Sam.
Hey, Sam.
Sign Drifter for me.
I remember you.
Lost Art.
Yes.
Do you have a character that you voiced? Because I was playing through it and I recognized.
Yes, that Amazon game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am in that.
Is it about that big of a character that you voiced?
I don't remember. See, a lot of times with these video games, they code name it. Like when we worked on Destiny, the code name for that is like B Game.
Okay.
When I worked on Final Fantasy, wait a minute, what day is it?
Yeah, it's out.
Oh.
It's out.
You're good. You're
Okay.
good. You're good, Todd.
I gotta watch stuff like that. But those all have code names. So whenever we work on these shows, really strangely, the only things that don't get coded is anime. So when we work on anime, I always know what the title is, but video games never know the title. Always coded. We'll even get scripts where it's like, oh, I'm so glad I thought about it before I spoke. There's this show that I worked on where they change the names of, they'll even go through and make special scripts where they change the names of the characters, but because I know all of these cartoons and all of these like Transformers, when I worked on Transformers, they changed the names of like Optimus and Megatron, but you're like, Roy is going for the Allspark. I wonder what Roy is. Like, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, so it just, that's why it's hard for me to know if I was what I was in that game, because it's so codenamed. When I work on any video game, it's like that. The first time I was in Final Fantasy, it's called like Baguette. It's so strange. It's like when I did the Lord of the Rings, I did this Lord of the Rings game, and they called it like dish soap or something like. It's crazy. They come up with these weird names, and it must be crazy for their administrative staff, because like trying to keep like everything together. I'm working on something right now called
Tide with bleach.
Yeah, like something crazy, like Tide Pods or something like that. But yes, I was in that. I don't remember the exact role.
Yeah, I think your character's like this big.
Well, have you beaten it?
I've played, I'm not.
It's way too long.
I'm level 50, so
How many? What's the max level?
60.
Oh, okay. So you played through a fair amount.
She close.
Yeah, I'm close.
I'm throughout.
One more question.
One more question.
What's your favorite line as Drifter?
All right. Let's see what we got on the field. Aquafina.
Tasty water. Honey, you wanna come over? You're decked out. Look at you. Who are you cosplaying?
Novara, who's talking from Chiang
I'm sorry.
Very cool. What's your name?
Chi.
Question?
Yes. We know that you voiced Itachi from High School Musical,
Yeah.
of course. And then Greg Ayers voiced your brother. How difficult was that for you to match voice class in that anime? And would that be considered your most technically difficult voice? Or
Oh, okay, that's a good question. So to match Greg when we worked on Ouran, it was either if he had recorded first on a line, then I would listen to how he did it and just literally copy it. So then we were the same. And if vice versa, if I had done it first, he would go in and do it. In terms of the most technically difficult voice, when I worked on Ghost of Tsushima, all my lines were in Mongolian. Newsflash, I don't speak Mongolian. So they had to teach me Mongolian, all my lines. And then when I worked on, there's a movie called The Christmas Chronicles with Kurt Russell. I was a lot of those elves. And so they spoke a language, they spoke their own language that was, the guy that made up the languages in Game of Thrones created the languages for that movie. And so we had to learn those language words. Then when I did this Disney show called Violetta, which we did for, I want to say it was either about 1,000 episodes. It was an insane, like 900 episodes. I had to not only speak in Italian, but I had to sing my songs. There was one song I had to sing in Italian, full song Italian, upbeat tempo. So we would have to take it line by line. Not only would I have to get it right pitch-wise, you know, speed, everything, but all in Italian. That was a challenge. And then when I did Sophia the First, when we were doing that role, when I was in the booth about to record it, they go, "Oh, by the way, can he be Scottish?" I'm like,
What a request.
okay. And they're like, "Oh, and you have songs as well." And I'm like, remember what I said about actors? Yeah, we got it. We can do that. Now I could, I do that accent, but it's like at the time to just drop that on someone. So I've had a lot of oh, there's another Blue Exorcist. In that show, my character had these chants that were rhythmic, but they were offbeat rhythms. And so they had to send that to me, and I had to learn how to do those prior to that. I'm trying to think of other roles. Like, that's a good question, because now that it's like unlocking all of these things that I hadn't thought about in a long time, and in terms of roles like that. And then and more technically challenges like World of Warcraft. Whenever I go in like one of my characters is an orc, and then I play these other species of characters. Those voices are difficult because they tend to be down here. And so those are hard on my throat. You can do 1 or 2 lines, but when you start doing 100 lines like that, mamma mia.
Did you turn into Mario?
Mario! I'm gonna wee! But yeah, and that's how we got Hetalia, Italy's voice, because when we were doing Hetalia, I didn't know what kind of show it was. They just said, prepare all these accents. So I did all these authentic accent preps, stuff like that. And then when they go in, they're like, I was originally cast as England in Hetalia. And so I did the whole first season. That's floating around somewhere in the Funimation archives, me as England in Hetalia. But then they needed me to switch over to Italy. And I said, okay, if I do Italy, it's gonna be my Mario impression. And they're like, what would that sound like? And I was like, ow, whoa, 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 whoa. And they're like, that's what we want. And I'm like, that's what you want. And then that's how I became Italy. So yeah.
And then in Italian you said, add an extra 0.
That's right.
To the number. Hey, good question, thank you. That was fun, you unlocked a lot of stuff. Like Easter egg bonus at the top. All right, we're gonna go to the back. We're gonna go to the back. Fruity Pebbles, come on over. Fruity Pebbles, what's up? How you doing? What's your name?
Ashley.
Hi, Ashley.
What's your favorite memory of voicing Tara from Danganronpa?
My favorite memory working on Danganronpa was the fact that I got to do a Cajun accent, because I had family that was from that area. And so I was like, well, Because the thing about that accent is that you cannot go cartoony enough. It's still authentic.
So you know when you're talking about being Cajun, having the people come over here and play the video games and they play the different characters and taking this chance and this chance and then pressing the X and the square and the zero.
It is still straight up that realm. And so it was fun to do that.
Being from Lafayette, Louisiana, where Cajuns live and are from.
Oh, you
Good
know
job.
what I'm talking about right there.
Good job.
Trying to do the, be a chef, a professional chef, and do all the things in the video game, You take some spicy mustard and you dip the disc in it.
I got a friend's uncle that sounds like that. Totally. All right, come on over. That's pretty great. You have family from Louisiana?
Yeah, Lake Charles.
All right, right on. That's close. That's good. That's close. We'll allow it. Hi, what's your name?
So we drove from Louisiana. That was awesome. So I have a kind of weird question, and I hope I can ask it. So you were on a series called Star Trek Continues.
Star Trek Continues.
What was it like trying to fit in that role, especially with like the mirror episode with like the mirror universe? What was it like trying to like get into the mindset of Spock, and especially like in that episode, like where you have to play a different Spock?
So with that series, the most challenging aspect was the makeup, because that was my hair, and they built the facial hair for me because I didn't think I could grow that. And so that was difficult because once you glued it on, I couldn't eat anything, because if I would open my mouth or chew, the glue would come off. And so I was very hungry during that episode. Very hungry and very tired because, so I'm on West Coast time zone, and when I would work on the show, that's on East Coast time zone. Well, I'm the first one on set every morning at 5 a.m. East Coast time, which is 2 a.m. West Coast time. So listen, I've taken a nap on every part of those sets because the makeup process is like 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours for the Mirror Universe one. Because they have to do my hair, they have to straighten my hair, cut my hair a certain way. And they had an assistant whose only job was to hold my head up so I could sleep. So because I can't lay down, and there's no special chair to where I can sit back, because they have to work on my ears. So they had someone who would hold their hand like that, and I would go, and I'm sleeping like this while they're doing the makeup and everything. And so that was a challenge. And then in terms of just the character of Spock, how I approached it was I didn't want to be a copy of Leonard Nimoy, because that's his thing. I wanted to be the character, my take on the character, with knowing that I needed to incorporate some of his flavors of it. And so I was a big fan of him from the movies, that era of Spock. And so I approached it from that mindset and put my own little Haber spices and such on there, and hopefully people like it. But that was my take on it, and it's I still have the tunic and the ears. I don't wear the ears as much as I probably should, but I still have them. But yeah, thank you for asking.
Come on over. You have cool blue hair. What's your name?
My name is Audrey, and I am so sorry if you notice I'm shaking, just know I'm fine.
That's okay. I mean, you know what? I'm in California. We constantly have earthquakes.
You totally relate.
I actually have 2 questions.
Okay.
You voiced Corregio Shinguchi from Danganronpa 3.
And there's a cool cosplayer doing that around. They're out there. Seek them out. Oh, right there. Isn't that a good cosplay?
Nice. Come up and show everybody. Come show everybody. Yeah, come on over. Look, go right there in the front. Yeah, give it up. Woo! Good job.
Very cool. That's perfect cosplay.
Here, turn this way. Look, we'll get a photo. Peace sign. Yeah, good job, Todd. I like it. Thank you. Don't give it up.
I was wondering how you feel about his character and like the way he acts and stuff.
It's a little odd. I don't know if I would. I'm not sure I would ever want to make them angry. And I'm pretty sure that I would keep all sharp objects away from their reach. Is my take, yes.
Good answer. Second one?
You voiced one of the twins from Ouran Host Club. Can you
Yeah.
tell them apart?
Yes, Hikaru is always on the right side of the screen. That's legitimately what it is. Always on the right. You'll see. When you go back and watch it, you'll see.
Good job. Now give it up. That's a good question. I like that. All right, I'm gonna go right here. Nice, stand up. What's your name?
Kenzie. Good, how are you? Hey, Todd.
Hello.
So I kind of got a bizarre question. What is your most intense role that it's so crazy that you just love doing?
Betelgeuse from ReZero. If you haven't seen ReZero, that's a tough show. Don't watch it with the family. That's a hard one. But my character in that, he's very he comes in about midway through, and he makes an impression. He's pretty wacky. He's pretty out there, and I've done a lot of out there roles, I feel like. And I even told the director, Chris Case, in that when we were working on it, I was like, yeah, this is the one. He was like, this is the one. What? I go, this is the weirdest one ever. And I've been an alien frog, and this is still weird. But yeah, I was, and that one I lost my voice on for sure. I actually kind of, yeah, I lost my voice on it. Never mind. I lost my voice on it. Well, I'll tell you anyway. So I was done for the day, and I was like, I was hurting, and I told Chris, I was like, Chris, man, I'm tapped out, man. And he does a lot of screaming, and he goes, let's just keep pushing, let's keep going. And I was like, okay, roll it. And so there's these parts in the, I forget where, but there's a part where you're like, wow, he seemed really angry there. Yeah.
He pulled it out of you.
Yeah.
It's a good director. Good director. All right, we got time for like one or two more questions. So, you want to pick? You want to pick?
No, I like it when you pick.
All right, good. I like it. I'm gonna go to the back, all the way in the back. Our friend with the costume. You deserve it. What's your name?
Sid,
Very good cosplay. Thanks for being here.
can you do the Correcchio laugh?
That's like, who else was in here? They said they laughed like a spray bottle. They said that's like laughing like a spray bottle. Who said that? Oh, where are you? Someone, and I was like, I never thought about that. I was like, yeah.
Has a little muttly to it too, right?
That laugh, I had to voice match that character, and I couldn't do it. I was like, I can't do this, because you have, that laugh is so, I wish I could do that laugh, but yeah.
All right, nice, now what's your name?
Nick,
Nick, what's your question?
this is kind of a two-in-one question, but what was it like voicing Hikaru, and what do you think his true feelings are with Karu?
I don't think his feelings are exactly legal in the United States. I feel like the judge would be like, you know that's your twin brother, right? But it was fun to work on. It was a very imaginative show that when it's rare to encounter shows that have that kind of imagination, I feel like, because it's so well thought out, but it moves at such a pace where you don't, where those two attributes don't exactly go together, but they make it work. So it was really cool to work on it, and also seeing someone passionate about it like the director, Caitlin. She cared so much about that show, and so it's always good when you get to work with directors that really care about what they're working on. 'Cause so many times, the way the timelines work in voiceover, there's not really a huge opportunity for people to really care about what they're working on in the same way that Caitlin would care about an Ouran, because things move so quickly. It was a really nice confluence of all these great timelines that allowed us to really take the time to make the show fun, for sure. Yeah.
Well, we're to the end of our panel, but any final thoughts? Where can we find you online? Anything share with us that's coming up?
Oh, I'm trying to think of all this stuff. I mean, everything that I'm working on, I can't say yet. I mean, what just came out? There's been a lot, like the stuff. It's stuff like, okay. This week something comes out that's pretty cool. It's a video game. It's an RPG. That'll be fun. The week before, there was another RPG game, a post-apocalyptic game that came out. What is it? Elex 2? Elex?
Oh, I've heard of
You
that.
fly around, you got a jetpack. That was cool. Week before that, what was the game that came out? Oh, these code names, they drive me crazy. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff that has come out. There's stuff that is coming out from the directing side, the producing side, the voiceover side.
Basically, people will be happy, is what you're saying.
I hope so. I hope you like it. Instagram's where I like to be. official_Habergram. And I'll see you there. We're doing, I guess, we're going to try to do a Twitch stream at some point. Let's say we're going to be able to this month? We don't have time? April? May? Mamma mia. Okay, May we're going to gear up and we'll probably do a Lego thing. Okay, we're going to build a Lego set.
Nice.
You can come hang with us. There's a lot of stuff coming. Stay tuned. And thank you all again for your hospitality and being buds with us. Thank you.
Y'all give it up for Todd.